Hello, my name is Solomon McGee, and this is my presentation of learning. Before I start, I'd like to thank everybody in this room to come see me, and especially my teachers for letting me have such a great MPX experience. Now, let me begin. I'm a superhero that was sent to Earth in order to save the Earth from a food shortage. The way I would do this is I had to build a system. But before I built this system, I had to gain superpowers to help me. Here are a list of all my superpowers I had to gain. I had to gain the power of using power tools, gain the power of measuring, of teamwork, combining flavors, communication, time management, planning, and measuring wood. The first superpowers I learned were using power tools and measuring wood accurately. The way I learned these powers were I built a table, and the table was used to hold plants so that they could be taken care of. I learned that to measure wood accurately, you have to put the tape measure on the side of the wood and make sure that it's not diagonal and that it's perfectly straight. Also, when you're drawing your line, you want to have a straight, like a ruler, so that your line is straight, and use a pencil, because if you use a marker, your line will be too thick. Also, I learned that there's two kinds of drills. One drill is used to drill the guiding hole for the screw, and the other one is to screw the screw into the hole. The next superpower I got was combining flavors. For this, I had to travel to a faraway land known as KCC, where I got assistance from the wise chef Matt. However, to prove I was worthy, he made me bring 4 lemons. After I brought my 4 lemons, he taught me the way of combining flavors. I made chicken, rice, and vegetables. This is a picture of me cooking at KCC. The next superpower I gained was planning. This was a very important superpower for me to gain. I had to plan out everything I was going to buy before I bought it at the faraway land known as Home Depot, because I could only go there once. I went on different websites to find prices and product numbers, and also we built this foam representation of what our system would look like. This was one of the most important powers for me to learn. The next one was measuring. For this, I traveled back to KCC, but this time to prove I was worthy, I had to bring 4 bulbs of garlic. Here I learned how to measure ingredients, because last time Chef Matt had prepared everything for me and I just had to combine it and cook it. But this time, he just had all the ingredients, I had to measure it out, I had to put it together, I had to prepare it, I had to cook it, and this one was one of my favorite powers to learn. I made chicken, couscous, and a salad. And here I learned a really important lesson, because when I was making the second batch of couscous, I didn't measure the oil correctly, and I put too much oil, and it came out super oily. But I was able to drain it out, so it's all good. Finally, it was time for me to build my system. I had to use all the powers I had already gotten, plus I learned some new ones too. I learned collaboration, I learned teamwork, and I learned time management. These are all pictures of me building the system. In order to do it, we had to build 2 A-frames. That would be the main part of our system, and then we had pieces that went across to hold up the 2 A-frames. Here are more pictures of me doing it. One of the hardest parts was making these little shelf parts, because we had to make sure that they're exactly 90 degrees and make sure that they were the exact height on the thing, because if one side was too high and the other side was too low, the pipe would be angled and the water wouldn't flow correctly. During this, I faced a few villains. My first villain was drilling the holes in the big pipes, because when I was doing this, our holes weren't straight, and also it was really hard for me to do it because I wasn't really strong. So every time when I did in the practice pipe, the the saw would just get like stuck in the pipe, or it would just like spin out of my hands. But finally, in order to defeat this villain, I realized that we had to draw a line, use a tape measure to draw a straight line so our poles would be straight, and also that from getting assistance from Captain Kaneko, he taught me that I had to use, I had to have the drill going full power, but go really slow when I was pushing down. And doing that, I was able to defeat this villain and drill the holes correctly. My second villain was procrastination. Me and my other superhero colleagues wanted to finish our system first. However, we were messing around sometimes, and we weren't doing what we were supposed to do, like a little bit, and we didn't use some of our time as wisely as we should have, so we finished our system second. The main thing we kind of were messing around with was when we were cutting the PVC pipe, we would just like cut like unnecessarily and just waste it. And if we really tried and like didn't screw around, we probably would have finished first. But I'm kind of glad we actually did procrastinate because I learned a lesson from it. My third villain, this was one of like the most annoying because every time we tried our system, after when we were done, we started running water through it, and we noticed the water wasn't flowing correctly. So in the top pipe and the third pipe, the water would just stay in there and it would just keep building up until it overflowed. And this continued, just kept going on. We couldn't figure out what it was. And also, you see how this over here is where it drains, but it would, like, no water would drain out, and we didn't know why it was. So finally we realized that the reason the water was building up is because all the water would go into the top pipe, and it would start to bend, and so all the water would just get trapped in there, and the same with the third pipe. So what we did to fix this and defeat this villain was we put a metal bar under the third pipe, so it wouldn't bend, and a wood plank under the first pipes to give it more support, and also so that it wouldn't drain, so that it wouldn't leak. We glued all the pipes together, and that helped it not leak anymore. The end. Thank you for watching my POL.
Solomon, what was the biggest challenge for you for making this POL?
Not using my time wisely.
Okay, great, thank you. Oh, Mike.
You know the planning?
Yeah.
How come it said made by Michael Chino?
What?
That was me.